watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Simply put, Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently would be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth will be employed. The people that attend the church here can tell you.
Service in Holy Rosa is in
We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. Katsina, the capital city of Katsina State, is a land of heritage. Today, it may look quiet and unassuming, but locked in it are historical details few states in the country can compare. As a matter of fact, among several classes of Nigerians today, no mention of Katsina is ever made without deep and rapid reflections of its contributions to world history, in scholarship, culture, commerce, politics, and religion. Katsina still plays a leading role in these fields. Yet, whatever role it is playing today in these fields, nationally and internationally, they are precursors to what it has achieved over the centuries. Katsina's progress over the centuries came in the full light of history. The ancient city is strategically located along trans-Saharan trade routes. This allowed it contact with the outside world, through which commerce and scholarship, architecture and religion flourished. Katsina has been an old town that has been popularly known for trans-Saharan trade. In fact, trans-Saharan trade routes in Katsina started from where we are, this point. This point is identified as Opar Guga, and the Opar is just there. Now, Opar Guga in Katsina is iconic because it represents the trade that existed between Nigeria and countries across the Sahara for centuries. And in fact, all along these places, the communities that are living here are aliens. People who are coming from Niger Republic, who are coming from Mali, people that are coming from Senegal, because they have been brought here by the trans-Saharan trade route. So, while effectively there may not be trans-Saharan trade in the perspective we know it was centuries ago, the trade is still going on, is still existing, and there are people still coming and reflecting that ancient era. So, we are going to give you a detailed and comprehensive story of this as we move on. Katsina is also one of the most central of the Hausa states, sandwiched between Kano and Sokoto. This came with the consequences in terms of language variation, wars, scholarships, and relationship. My purpose here is not to recreate history, but Katsina maintains ancient monuments and artifacts that give refreshing insight into its historical facts, and how those monuments and artifacts influence lives and the development of Katsina and neighboring states. On that score, Gobara Minaret is an ideal starting point. This is an architectural wonder that was believed to have been constructed in Katsina around 1348, over 600 years ago. Officials of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments say it is a portion of the first Friday Mosque in Katsina, and it signified the period Islam was introduced to the city. In Katsina State, the Gobara Minaret is revered, but actually it depicts the earliest religious practice in Katsina State, Islamic religious practice. But then, more than anything, the people of Katsina revere it as a national icon, or as an icon that represents Katsina State. In fact, they compare it with the Big Ben in London, the Eiffel Tower in Paris, or the amphitheater in Rome. In fact, the people of Katsina think it in context much bigger than what those nations feel about their monument.
This mineral is very important to people of Katsina. It's proud. It's where anywhere you go, you can proud as its past central mosque. To see it as the mosque in the center line of Katsina is the first university in the sub-region in those times.
Gobara Minaret is always linked with the efforts of the celebrated Islamic scholar Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Karim Al-Magili and Sarki Muhammad Kourou, the first Muslim ruler in Katsina. Records from Katsina show that at its initial construction, the minaret was over 122 meters or 400 feet tall. The main body of the tower fell at a period in time, and this led to the reduction of the tower to its present height of about 17.11 meters, with a base of approximately 83.36 square meters. The perspectives about Gobaro minarets are unending, like the fact that it was built actually in 1348. To imagine that this building could be constructed in 1348. Malam Umar
Danjuma,
yes, obviously.
Yes.
You are from Katsina, this building is 1348, a very long time.
Even beyond that, we just take 1348 as a near calculation. But it's beyond that. Because the man who built the Timbuktu Mosque, we think is the man who traveled to Katsina and built Gobaro. And he is also the same person, the architect, who built the Babangani Mosque in Zaria. Yes.
So he's an Islamic scholar who is moving around.
Yes. It's
mosques.
Yes, mosque and mosque and probably some rural houses.
The catch here is that this masterpiece was built by local builders in Katsina using clay, mud and conical bricks, while dead palim, azara in Hausha, was used for ceiling, doors and windows. A testimony that building technology was rife in Hausa land over 700 years ago.
Local builders, craftsmen, those who can use as local building in this state, like Sarki Magina and others.
You mean Sarki Magina in Katsina at that time?
Yes.
Was part of the crew that built this?
Yes. Can use as a clay and wood to build it. Okay. Those are the materials who can use the building.
So are the materials sourced from Katsina or they have been sourced outside Katsina?
We can source it from Katsina, clay and wood.
So they are available in Katsina and
yes.
the people use them?
Yes.
Gobaro minaret, on the other hand, has similarity with the building designs and pattern of Songhai and Mali. Many scholars say this underscores the history of political relations and transmission of local indigenous language and skills.
If you see the trans-Saharan trade routes that starts from Katsina city here to Maradi, to Timbuktu, to Sudan, to Tunisia, this same route is the same that you can travel on through to this village, towns.
These people who are also rulers and scholars, or maybe missionaries, Islamic missionaries.
Islamic, yes.
They are coming through the same route.
The same routes.
And going through various.
And they do trade also, because the Katsina people do trade with these people on the same routes.
On the same route.
Yes.
It is conspicuous that no mosque is around the Gobaro minaret today. It stands alone. What happens to the mosque, and at what period? My respondents could not come with a realistic answer. They believed, however, that the mosque which sheltered the minaret attracted students across western and central Sudan and the Maghreb. Later, it served as a kind of university.
So it was a university before it is turned into mosque. Oh. You see, Islam has already been established because here is a center of learning. Before it is even transformed to mosque, it was a university. Learners like Saint Walid and Marana, Walid and Takum were all students here. So Islam has already been established in Katsina before 1338, before Gobaro minaret was built.
So the Gobaro minaret was even a later development?
Later development. And this is the second or third transformation, because the original building was not like this. So it was rebuilt twice, I think twice or 3 times, I believe, yes.
Oh, you mean we are not seeing the original?
We are not seeing the original. We have not, even myself, I have not met the original. I don't think even my father met the original. So
what of the integrity of the place and other things?
Oh, very big. Yes.
So at what time, at what period do we say we have these changes? I cannot see a mosque now, I cannot see a school. Yeah, obviously.
Well, imagine the years. You see, they said 1338. 1338 to date. How many years? Even my great-grandfather was not born.
Gobara Minaret used to be the highest building in ancient Katsina and environs. In 1927, Emir Muhammad Dikko commissioned some Katsina master builders to rebuild the minaret. The minaret as it stands today is the product of that exercise. The minaret, apart from serving purposes of scholarship and Islamic learning, was used as a watchtower. Custodians of Gobara Minaret say the edifice attracts scores of students, scholars and tourists all year round. In truth, this monument will never fail to capture the minds of its visitors on the strength of its architecture, aesthetics and history. There are concerns, however, with the maintenance of this national monument. At its deep recesses, birds, bats especially, have taken over. The places stink of their feces. Their clumsiness are no addition to the beauty of the place. These can potentially drive away visitors. Moreover, the rooms along the minaret's elevation are barely given any care. If only this national edifice can enjoy more serious concern. Earlier, we established how trans-Saharan trade routes terminate at Opal Guga. Trade across the Sahara has shaped relations between Katsina and the outside world for centuries. One of the biggest monuments to this relation is obviously the market in Jibia, some 15 kilometers north of Katsina. Jibia market has been there for centuries. It is precisely located at the foot of the trans-Saharan trade routes. In modern day, it is a border market, and although in Nigeria, Niger Republic is barely a kilometer away. Up to this day, Jibia market maintains its multicultural and multinational patronages. Officials of the market say 40% of the people who come to the market Saturday through Sunday are foreign nationals. An estimated 30% come from Niger Republic, 10% from Mali and countries along that route. Decades of trade relations had made this market seamless. Hausa is the main language of trade. It is difficult to find major commodities of trade that characterize that golden period of trans-Saharan trade in the market today. Though date palm is still a major foreign import, as well as tiger nuts and potassium. As a matter of fact, the story of Jibia market today is a story of changes brought about by modernity and creation of states. Its unfading value remains its international outlook. As it was during the period of trans-Saharan trade, trekking on foot and beasts of burden are still being used to arrive the market. There is, however, the intervention of automobiles now, vehicles like this one, fit for the crossing of the Sahara. You don't get to see any of these kind of vehicles, but in places like Jibia, all these vehicles are heading to various international destinations. One feature of them is that on their arrival or return journey from the market, they are always overloaded.
The reason you see overload like this is simple. In many of the routes, only one vehicle passes through. So if a person misses it, he missed market that week. He has to wait for another week. This is why you see a vehicle with over 30 people and fully packed with goods. Yes, there are fears, but accidents are rare happenings. But I admit there are elements of recklessness.
The overload is not only in human content, but also in the items purchased. Of particular interest to me were rubber gallons strapped to the body of vehicles containing highly inflammable commodities like petroleum, kerosene and gas.
Many of these commuters come to the market from villages, not cities. They bring mostly grains to the markets. Going back, they buy kerosene, gas for their engines, sugar canes, sweet potato, and other items they don't have across. Generally, this market is closer to them than their markets in Nigeria Republic. This is why every week you find a scenario like this.
Because of the transborder nature of this market, there exists an extensive yet informal bureau de change. This exchange center is the engine of trade in Jibia market. The exchange market actually employing the more flourishing businesses in Jibia market. A massive business in Jibia market is its livestock content. It may have been a thriving business during the heydays of trans-Saharan trade. It is elevated to greater heights today. Camel, cattle, donkeys, sheep, goats and poultry are the main products of the livestock market. 80% of them come from Nigeria Republic and beyond. We arrive at the market when something different is happening to its livestock segment, and it is changing the behavior of the market. The donkey market in particular has a unique case.
When you come to Jibia market, donkey market is iconic. The donkey market is depleted. You can look at the market. There are no donkeys. In fact, the available donkeys cannot make up out to one trailer. There are so many reasons attested to it. Many people are saying that there is a law now in Niger that the donkey should not be imported to Nigeria. The reason why we should talk to the dealers. Thank you.
The donkey market is witnessing a holiday it has never witnessed in a long time. And major dealers and unit buyers are complaining.
Samani Ilyas has been a dealer of donkeys at Jibia market for close to 20 years. It has been a successful business for him and they have been doing fine. They have been relating with the people of Nigeria so well. But now he's one of the people who is saying that the donkey importation to Nigeria is no longer happening.
What we hear is that Nigeria Republic has stopped donkey exports. The complaint that the export is ending their donkey population and their subjects don't get the donkey for their agriculture and domestic chores. We used to load 20 trailers of donkey in this market every week. This week, not a single
For 28 years, this man said donkey business in Jibia had been his life. Now the market is dying. He is thinking of going back home to start farming.
Well, Yahya Ilu here is one of the dealers who buy donkeys in bulk from Jibia market, load them in the trailer and take them to the south. Today, Yahya Ilu is in the market. He could not even find 5, not talk of trailer to take to Jibia. What is the problem?
Almajiri.
Kai kana loading jakuna.
Wannan gaskiya ne.
A trailer. Ka kai su kudu ko?
Izambo ba.
Izambo.
We took the donkeys to Izambo in southern Nigeria, in Enugu State. We learned the president and legislature in Nigeria Republic have stopped donkey exports to us, afraid that their donkey would finish. I load 6 to 10 trailers of donkey every week to Enugu. This week, not a single one is loaded.
Shine ka ganan da muna loda trailer 3 muna loda 5 6 7 8 har 10 amma
Although the donkey market is different, there is a common trend that is affecting all the livestock market. People bringing cattle or camel from the Niger to Jibia are no longer doing so. They no longer break even. The market, which week in, week out, see tens of trailer loads of sheep, goats and cow leave for market across Nigeria, are no longer loading. The animals are not coming to the market in the number they used to do.
Most of our trading partners are our brothers from Nigeria Republic. We can't do without one another. They bring the livestock, And when they do so, the market would fail. It so happens now that the people of Niger would use safer to buy livestock from home. The moment they bring the animals here, when they sell and exchange naira currency, they record losses. They don't break even. Many have stopped the business. Some now buy fair animals here and take it to Niger and gain profits.
Now, there is a small story to be told here. On the perfect market day, Jibia market can have as many as 200 camels. Today, it is almost 1 o'clock in the evening, but Jibia market has only 3 camels. I'm on top of one. What is happening to Jibia market? It is not getting the camel it is used to get. What is the actual case? Many people here have different theories. Many have different stories. So, but what are these stories? Let me calm down. We'll get the stories in detail.
Our case is simple. Exchange rate is stopping the markets. People no longer bring camel from the Nigerian Republic to this market because it would not make profits.
Although
the situation in Jibia market is sending many out of business, there are ongoing efforts to revive the market, even as major interest groups appeal for their country's intervention on the matter.
What we always tell our people is that we are going to carry their complaint to the higher authorities.
A new pattern is emerging. People now buy livestock from Nigeria in small quantity to export to Niger Republic. This trend, they say, allow them to break even.
I'm from Nigeria Republic and into cattle business in Jibia markets. The exchange rates have stopped us taking livestock to Nigeria. Now people are taking livestock from Nigeria to Niger. The case is, a 200,000 naira worth of cattle from Niger would be less in value in Nigeria. But if it is a reverse case, the cattle would worth approximately 270,000 naira. It is a year since I brought any animal to Nigerian markets. I used to bring 20 to 30 cattle every market day. Now I'm back home doing the business there.
Away from the livestock section, however, there is life in the market. There is unhindered human interaction, such that you can scarcely identify the nationality of any person standing apart. There is peace also in the conduct of businesses, understanding and spirit of cooperation. So as I met to leave the market, however, I wondered in my mind whether during those periods of trans-Saharan trade, African markets like Jibia were influenced by demand and supply.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Denim is one of the dominant parts of urban lifestyle. Everyone wants a piece of it. However, creating a unique look gives you the fashion statement you sure deserve. There are lots of creative ways you could transform your denim from being that boring piece to an artistic appeal. Promise Abu is a creative designer. He's about to create an incredibly detailed art on a denim shirt. Let's see how this will be achieved.
I'm using all this ink for the design. It's called an acrylic ink. I'm about to do a faded brick design on this cloth. Why it's perfect to use biro is it makes the line projects better because the material it's a dark material. If it's a light material, you could use your pencil.
He continues to create the vertical and horizontal lines that will form the patterns of the brick design.
The function of this line is to guide me when I'm painting the bricks, because I will be using a lot of colors. It's to guide me. It's a guideline.
Now the painting commences, and this will take a longer time.
This is the use of the line. You paint each box.
A range of variety of colors is required in order to pop up the design and make it look very attractive.
You continue to spread colors in all the boxes. These are yellow acrylic yellow. We'll be using this to brighten the colors. Like I said earlier on, women love bright colors.
Highlighting some of the deep colors with white is to make it a bit brighter.
Right about now, we're about to do the tracing. After the tracing, we move to the fading side of it. Moving to the fading level. I will be fading all this brick right now. Okay, it's done this way. You use your brush. You use your brush to shade. It's like using your pencil to shade on the paper. You shade different edges. You shade different parts of it. You do it randomly.
In order not to leave the pockets without a little touch of creativity, creating a bit of design is necessary.
Allow it to dry for a while. Like I said earlier on, this is what the rag female jean look like. It's a brick design. Very beautiful.
Isn't it quite fascinating how artists are known to create a world of their own by turning anything ordinary into extraordinary? This is one artistic piece that explores man's ingenuity and speaks volume of high fashion statement. Art is anything but not boring.
pour into the bag.